Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back and thanks for joining me for my FIFA 15 Super League with Manchester United. United were back in town to play against Shakhtar at Old Trafford, and this, folks, had to be the most frustrating game I've ever played on FIFA. Shakhtar down in relegation zone. We've already beaten them away from home this season, and I know they're not the most easiest of teams to try and get a result against, but come on, a team that's in poor form, this game was just extraordinarily difficult. It felt like I was playing 2 up from Legendary. I mean, every game I've played so far this season, as you know, has been played on Legendary, and yes, I've had my difficult challenges and we've flown through a few games, especially that one back here against Porto at Old Trafford where we thrashed them 6-1. Surprising result for me, especially on Legendary. But this was just on a whole different level against Shakhtar. Now, I know when the word scripting is brought up when FIFA is involved, people jump on you straight away saying, no, there's no such thing, it doesn't exist, it's just the way you're playing, you're bad. But there was definitely some scripting in this game. It was like predetermined, if you will, that Shakhtar were going to outperform Manchester United at Old Trafford in this one. I mean, I've been playing a couple of games before this. We've got decent results. We've been playing well. We're up, battling it out with Chelsea and Real Madrid. Why should we find it difficult at Old Trafford against a team that are in the bottom 3? Why should we find that difficult? Now, folks, keep in mind, Manchester United were unbeaten heading into this fixture against Shakhtar at Old Trafford. We hadn't lost a game here at home, but it certainly felt like we were on the edge of doing such a thing, dropping all 3 points here to Shakhtar. I mean, the amount of chances that they had on goal, they were poor at the back. I knew that full well. But it was the matter of actually getting the ball in their final third. I couldn't do it. The amount of chances Shakhtar had, the amount of time spent within our penalty area was ridiculous. You'll see the stats a bit later on after this game. It's mind-boggling. And Victor Valdez, he was the one that had the most pressure on him. And it seemed as though we were devoid of the experience, the brilliance of Mats Hummels, Dani Alves, a bit of Phil Jones as well. We just weren't there. We weren't playing. Our heads weren't in the game, and Shakhtar were tearing us from limb to limb in this first half. And this, folks, from Wayne Rooney, was probably our first real chance on goal in the 33rd minute. And that just goes to show with how this game was panning out for Manchester United in front of the home fans. At half-time, we managed to keep Shakhtar at bay on the goal-scoring side of things, keeping it all level heading into the second half. But come the second half, things didn't change. It was all one-way traffic. It was all Shakhtar in that second half as well. They looked to chip Valdez, who was heading out to collect the ball, and thankfully he did save it straight up into the midsection. But the amount of chances that they had, I thought Gladicki had scored there as well. The ball just going behind the goal and rippling the net after rebounding off the advertisement board. But look at the chances that they had, and eventually they did break the deadlock. They made it 1-0 just at the hour mark. With that lightning bolt of a finish from Stepanenko, we were played right into the hands of Tyson. You can see how he draws out Mats Hummels, and Michael Carrick getting involved as well. Just allows that space for Stepanenko to step into and have a shot. So disappointing, so frustrating as well that I couldn't get anything going apart from this chance there from Falcao. I had to, because it was so difficult to get through their back four. In the end, Shakhtar won 1-0. They picked up all 3 points, and it's certainly something we can't afford to be doing by dropping points at such a crucial stage in the season, with Real Madrid flying high as well. But look at these stats. They had 17 shots. 17. With 9 of those on target. We only have 5 shots in the end. It wasn't good enough. It was just diabolical. It's embarrassing, if anything. And then, the week after, on the Tuesday evening, we were back in front of the Old Trafford crowd to play against Inter Milan. And this game there was so much pressure on me as well playing this, for you guys watching this series, because I knew if we dropped 3 points in this game, we would be out of the title picture altogether, and it would just be between Real Madrid and Chelsea then, and we would have to continue playing for the rest of the season and just get it out of the way and done with. So with that and our good track record against Inter Milan this season in mind, I was looking to Ander Herrera, Gundogan, Di Maria and Depay, and of course Wayne Rooney to get the job done here at Old Trafford. No excuses not to come away with a result here. As I've already mentioned, we've already beaten Inter Milan this season back at the San Siro with Robin van Persie scoring the winner. He was back on the bench as well for this game, back in the side. Good to have that option between him and Falcao, and either one of those would be coming on in the second half without a doubt. Now Manchester United almost got off to a flyer with just 2 minutes gone of the game. Wayne Rooney struck such a thunderous ball. He had the keeper beat, but the ball just wasn't dipping quick enough to just go over the top and into the back of the net. But what a goal it would have been. Certainly would have been goal of the season. I would have ranked that up there, definitely. Minutes later, Icardi crossing the ball, finding Palacio with such skill, and Palacio had time to at least line up his shot, but he rushed into it, hitting the side net in the process. Now, 10 minutes later, Angel Di Maria was brought down just outside the Inter Milan penalty area. Tensions were rising big time. Look at Di Maria chesting D'Ambrosio. Certainly getting a bit hyped up in this game, and of course it wasn't going to be Ander Herrera to take this free kick. It would be Di Maria on his left. I was looking for that little opening there, as you can see, on the right hand side of the goal, which the keeper didn't have covered, and he didn't have time to recover that position either. And I thought maybe for a split second I could have just whipped that in, curled it into the bottom corner, but yeah, it just went out into the crowd. Wasn't good enough. But that didn't put us off from carrying on attacking Inter Milan. Depay coming up with that first time shot of his. Keeper with a good save, couldn't hold on to it. Ander Herrera moments later again. We were certainly getting our shots in and putting their keeper to work, really. We were making him sweat under the collar with the amount of chances we were taking. And from that corner, the ball worked its way to Ander Herrera, who was given another chance to have a go on goal. He did. Struck the ball outside it. He was just bending away from the target, hitting the side net and going out into the crowd instead. He wasn't having the best of days in front of goal, but he was doing pretty well as the central midfielder, so he needed to just stay back a bit and stay in control for Manchester United, not have too many more chances. Leave that one to Wayne Rooney and Di Maria. Now, with just 5 minutes to go before half time, Mats Hummels, who was captain for this game, lunged in and received a red card after that challenge. I was disappointed that a yellow card hadn't have been given at least. I don't think it should have been a straight red, as you'll see on the replay here. Yes, he comes from behind Icardi and does take him down to the ground, but I don't know, I felt as though the red card was a little too harsh on Hummels. I'm not sure what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. You can see from their free kick they almost made it 1-0, hitting the post on the header there. But look how quick we hit them on the counter. Wayne Rooney surrounded by 4 Inter Milan players and still manages to come out on top. Crosses in the ball nice and low for Memphis to put into the back of the net. Nice sweaty goal. Going 1-0 up before half time, down to 10 men. I couldn't be any more happier heading into the second half. Obviously, being down to 10 men would prove to be difficult for United with another 45 minutes to go up against a strong Inter Milan team that were looking to get a little bit of payback. No doubt would they be feeling frustrated after conceding such a simple goal, really. And I mean, the challenges put on Rooney, it wasn't good enough for Inter from their point of view. It should have been so much better. So there you have it. At half-time, Manchester United went in the lead, 1-0 up against Inter Milan. But with the last 45 minutes, would we see a comeback from Inter? Would we see them get an equaliser and then get another goal to make it 2-1? All throughout that first half, Inter Milan were a threat going forwards. They showed that they can get the ball into those areas which we were failing to pick up on, to try and cover. And they did score a goal with just minutes, well, just seconds actually, into the second half. But it was offside, thankfully. But that simple offside decision, it wasn't going to put Inter Milan off from attacking. Gary Medel with a nice simple flick to Shaqiri. Shaqiri found Icardi. He passed it back to Shaqiri, pinballing the ball all over the box. And Shaqiri thankfully put that wide, and we were still in the lead. I did introduce Robin van Persie and Marcos Rojo in this second half as substitutes. I did bring on Blind earlier in the game, so I dropped Blind back into where Hummels should have been playing, so we was lacking in central midfield, but I was happy to go with that in midfield. It was just at the back we needed to make sure we had enough men to cover and be wary of that counter-attack from Inter Milan if we decided to push forwards. And in the last 10 minutes I was forced to park the bus. I was forced to go all Chelsea on this game to defend that 1-0 lead against Inter. They were throwing everything at us, even the kitchen sink. Their goalkeeper even had a shot on target. Well, it came off his head. Thankfully Valdez was able to save, otherwise that would have been pretty embarrassing on Manchester United's part. But we came out on top, we persevered, we stayed consistent at the back, even though we did go down to 10 men just before half time, and we came out with all 3 points, and we certainly needed that. We're just staying in that title picture on a thread at the moment. I'm just not quite sure how we're managing to do it at the moment. Valdez picked up another Man of the Match award for his troubles. He was brilliant against Inter. Anyway folks, that's going to be the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.